Freitas. Simon Freitas.
Hey!
Hi.
Howdy doody, buckaroonies.
My name is Ozzy Freitas.
And I am Simon Freitae.
And we are the co-hosts of the motherfucking...
Freitae Effect.
We really need to get, like, shirts that say, like, the motherfucking Freitae Effect. But, like,
Yes.
TMF.
E.
Wouldn't it be two Fs? The motherfucking Freitae Effect.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Whatever.
You gotta
I don't
believe.
know. I'm dumb. Anywho.
No, you ain't.
Oh, thank you.
You know? Affirmation.
I'm not dumb.
Nah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Naruto.
What?
That's what he used to say, right?
Oh, believe it.
Believe it.
Yeah.
UNH believe it.
All right.
I need to stop.
Stop.
Oh my god, okay.
Beginning.
So how are you?
I am alive. I'm kind of sick.
No.
Yeah, but I honestly think it is because of the different climates that I've been exposed to over the last 5 days.
Oh, where you been?
I have been to Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, and Massachusetts, as is right now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Is that how they talk over there?
That's whatever I talk on now at places. Yes. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Going through a lot, but
Yeah.
you know, like it gets better.
Wow, that's like, you know that campaign? Do you even know what you quoted?
I don't think I do.
All right, let's let the world know.
Tell them.
I'm not gonna tell them. You guys just gotta figure it out.
Oh, what?
Google it.
What's the campaign? Let them know.
It's
It gets better.
yeah, it gets better.
Okay, look it up, guys. I think I do.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the description.
Hashtag it gets better.
Cool. So it does. So this week's topic is about spooky season.
Spokes.
Oh?
Oh.
That is a very offensive term, and we will get back into that later, but Simon does not know what he just
Oh,
said.
fuck. I was just
So,
trying to
like,
have
I feel like
fun.
we should put, like, bloop, like,
Yeah.
right where you said that. But we won't because, like, we pay
don't know how
to be
to do
streaming
it.
and shit.
We could do it.
But that's still
What?
really fucked up.
Yeah, I'm
so anyways,
sorry.
we'll come back to it. Or we'll just cut it.
We need to cut it.
Anyways, so spooky season is among us. That means it's October.
Yes.
And that means if you live in New England, it's the best time to be here.
It's my favorite
Not
color.
sponsored or paid for by New England. We are just New Englanders, and we love this motherfucking season.
Also, can I ask, how would we get sponsored by New England?
The soul. Every single state. A little bit of their taxes
Oh.
would go to us.
That'd be so nice.
It's like however the news gets paid. That's how we would get it. 'Cause
Cool.
The news is obviously sponsored by New England. It's not like when they're like, brought to you by WGBH. It's like, brought to you by the state of New England.
The state.
God, Jesus, I suck the region. I really was bad at geography. Okay, still am. Anyways, best time to be all up in this bitch. Because it is the last hurrah before shit gets real cold.
Oof.
AKA winter is motherfucking coming.
Watch
and
out.
all the holiday bullshit is about to happen. And you just gotta mentally prepare for that.
Yep.
So we're just like enjoying the month of October for what it is with all of its glory. So Simon, would you like to do?
How the turns have tabled?
Yes.
Oh, you betcha. So, on this episode of How the Turns Have Tabled, we are sticking to the spooky theme. So there was a point in time in life of mine when I was working at a haunted house as a acting tour guide. And there was, Salem, Massachusetts. I worked whenever the fuck I could during the week because I was unemployed otherwise. And I just kind of wanted to do like a side work job that paid like $15 an hour, being directly out of college. And there was sometimes at night you could tell that people were like fucked up. So they would come in high, and those were usually pretty fun groups. But then people that came in drunk were usually fucking belligerent. And like, there was this one group that came in, and my boss came up to me specifically because I was one of the older workers, and he was just like, or one of the older. I think Jimmy might have been the only one that was like older than me. And Jimmy, love you, twin cousin. But my boss comes up to me, and he's just like, Simon, these people are very drunk, but there's like 12 of them. And I was like, okay. He goes, they're all like 35 and older. Can you do it? or do I have to? And I was
Mission
like,
accepted.
yeah, and I was like, let's fucking go. So then, like, I go down to the back, and then I'm bringing them down. They're all just fucking chatting up the whole fucking time.
It sounds very Salem.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
Massachusetts, and
That's
they're doing stupid shit all the fucking time. As I'm in there, like, they're wandering into other rooms, and I'm like, oh, you don't want to get taken away by a spirit in the fucking walls, which was like a sign to the people backstage, like, hey, if you see a person fucking wandering, rip them out. But
Like peeing?
no, it was like they would just wander into the next room.
I thought you said watering. I was like, is that a code word?
No, my God.
I don't know. People are drunk and obnoxious.
True, but no one got that bad.
Thank God.
Yeah, so like, well, there was it was a lot of, I think everyone was a married couple, so like wives were keeping their husbands in check,
yeah,
but the guys didn't give a fuck, and I was like, I'm vibing, but I'm also just like chill the fuck out. So
Yeah.
at the end, this is where it gets good.
I mean, it's been good.
It gets better.
Okay. that needs to be the name of this episode. Oh, man.
So the fucking I run out, the whole fucking everything's on fire and people screaming and gas shoots out, and we run into the gift shop. And they're all just like, oh my God, that was so fun. They're clapping. And I was like, yep. And then the exit's this way. And then they were like, should we tip you? And I was like, well, tips are always welcome.
You're like, yes.
Yeah, like I hadn't been tipped by then. And immediately following this, all the wives gave like their husbands like this look. And then like the guy, like the first guy pulls out like $1. And then the next guy pulls out like $2. And then it's like
it's
$5.
like who has
Literally who has the biggest dick. And then it's just like, it ends up being, I got like...
But shout out to you.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck yes. Like,
Yeah.
let's go, you drunk idiot.
Wait, so
then,
how much did you make?
Like $45.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Shout out to women, like, making their husbands spend money.
For being pieces of shit.
For being assholes.
Literally.
Honestly, that's exactly what Affluenza is, no?
What's that?
You've never heard of that?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Listen to this. It's such a fucking bullshit excuse for a fucking, like,
Is it
diagnosis.
like being rich?
It's like when you are so affluent that you have no sense of, like, reality. So, like, because your parents didn't fucking raise you in a way that other people live normally on this earth because they're rich and, like, rich people shit. Like, you get to just do everything that's fucking magical all the time. So if something doesn't go your way, you can go shoot up a fucking school. You know what I mean? It's like shit like that. Which I'm probably, like, super wrong. But, like, I'm pretty sure that's what the definition is. We'll include it in the description.
We will. But fuck that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so that's kind of how the turns have tabled. Ended up being a great fucking end of the night. And then I just fucking went home, fell asleep, lived life.
Awesome.
Yeah. Fuck you, computer.
Oh man,
yes.
I loved when you worked at the what was it called? The Lost Museum?
The Lost Museum.
Yeah, y'all should go check it out because honestly, that was some Disney shit.
Yo,
literally, I was like, how does this exist and it's not affiliated with Disney Channel right now?
So
Or Disney World.
there was
sorry, not
actually people from like the Disney like studios that came through the museum and I was doing tech. So I was so mad, like, they didn't get to have, like, me as their actor. But they still loved the tech, and they were just like, yeah, guys, like, this is pretty high-grade shit. Like, it's up to par with what we do at our, like,
That's
at our
amazing.
parks. And I was like, damn.
So you're sitting there like, I'm basically an actor for Disney.
I mean, I could be. I was so fucking good. Like, that fucking thing that I did when I pretend to be possessed.
Dude. Okay, I need to talk about that whole experience. So, let's fucking rewind to October 2018 when my parents and I thought that it would be a great idea to go on one of Simon's tours. Simon did not, in fact, warn us that is actually fucking scary. So, he's like, yeah, it's like, whatever. I go every day. I'm fine. And I'm like, okay. And then so, he's our tour guide. Me and my mom and my dad are the only people on this tour. And I'm like, this could not be more iconic. So we're walking through the back. We start going into this dark, like, staircase.
Yep.
And then my dad's an asshole. And he's like, I'm going to go up the stairs. And then Simon's like, excuse me, sir. And then he's like, yeah. And he's like, I am going to have to execute you from this tour. Or exit, whatever the fucking word is. And then Dad's like, oh, shit. And then he's like, all right, I'll come down. So then Dad comes downstairs. We go into this first room where it's like one of those like very typical like, ooh, look at all these artifacts in this person's mansion and like whatever. And there's like dead fucking monkeys and shit and like
Mermaids.
cobwebs, all that stuff.
Chupacabra.
So we're in that room. My dad touches a painting. Ooh, hologram on the wall gives us backstory. Okay, now we know things. Mood is set. It's spooky in this bitch. We go to the next room. And Simon's like, oh no, don't touch this. And then he fucking backs up into the wall. And this fucking dragon comes out. And like a bunch of shit happens. And we're like, that was so well timed. It was just so good. And then my dad actually got scared. He was just like, oh shit. He was like, ah! You know, like his little screams.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go in the next room. And I'm like, there's no way this shit can get scarier than this. And my mom, the whole time, unfazed. Like, not fucking laughing, just super serious, but not scared. She's like, this is stupid. And like me and my dad are like trying to go along with it. And I'm actually kind of scared because I'm a little bitch. So I'm in this third room and there's like some like, what was it? There was a fucking Ouija board.
Yep.
And then you were just
the
like...
salt circle.
What did you say to her again, though? Like, it was like a ghost or something?
Yeah, it was the ghost girl from the mirror.
Can you, like, do the script right now?
I don't remember all of it, but it was
amazing.
Basically just like, are you the ghost girl? Are you going to help us? Are you going to kill us? And then, like, she would go, like, yes, yes, yes. And then I'd be like, oh, shit. And then I'd, like, rip it off the wall. And then she would show back up. And then I would, like, pretend to be, like, passing out. And I'd be like, oh, I don't really feel so good, guys. And then she'd be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And I'd just
honestly, then you zombied out and just dropped. And I was like, we're dead! And then, like, my mom was like, is Simon okay? Like, that was the one time she was like, oh my God, I don't think he's okay. I think he's, like, actually hurt. And, like, my dad just, like, I'm just not going to move. I just won't move. And I'm freaking the fuck out. So I'm like, we got to get out. Because I thought at that point that you weren't going to come back to life. I thought you were going to die. And so I was like, okay, Simon's dead. We have to find our way out of this fucking thing. And then, like, I start running into the other room. And then I'm like, ah! Because, like, I saw this girl. And she wasn't supposed to be there to scare me. But she scared the shit out of me anyways. It was so great. And then I ran back in the room. And I was like, okay, I need to just not move. And then Simon came back to life. And Simon's like, yeah.
No, but you forgot. The fucking girl ended up running all the way around the back to come scare the shit out of us from the other fucking end.
Yeah!
Because she scared you from the, like,
Dude,
the wrong
she scared
side.
the shit out of me. I was so scared.
Oh,
okay, but anyways, and then you come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yo, guys, did anything happen when I was passed out? I was like, yes! So much! Acting like you didn't already fucking know. Like, you couldn't hear me screaming and shit. And then you're like, well, we gotta go over here. And then we're, like, going through, and then we end up in some, like, there's just things coming out and scaring the shit out of you the whole time.
Boiler room.
People chasing you and shit. And then we're in the boiler room. And you're like, we gotta get out of this room. We gotta go. You just gotta keep running. And then he's like, I'll hold it back. He's coming for me. And then I'm like, ah! And I'm like jetting my ass across this like janky ass metal bridge into this room. And I think it's another room, like, or exit out of the building. And it's the fucking gift shop. Dude, that shit was hilarious. I was like, wow, I look stupid right now.
Oh my God.
But it was fun.
It was so great. And, like, we got to play with it a lot because the director was just kind of like, you need to hit the beats, but you don't need to actually, you know, like, follow 100% script.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it to be, like, as natural as possible.
Yeah, it was great.
And, like, I remember me, Jimmy, and our friend Shania, we all would just, like, when we would play the Ghost Girl, we would attack the fucking tour guide at the end and we'd, like, drag him off the stage.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna watch Simon die.
Oh my God, it was so great. Plus, we got to, like, work on our, like, scary movies fucking noises. And, like, my favorite was when I got to be the bird and I would just pop out and be like, like,
dude, that is fucking scary.
Right?
Because
I did it for a month. It was fucking great.
You should be a voice actor.
I am.
Maybe, like, someone will listen to this podcast and think the same thing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dive in.
Anyways, how does that always come back?
Always.
Alrighty, so speaking of spooky shit.
Spooky, scary.
Spooky, scary.
Boys becoming men.
Scooby-Doo.
Werewolf bar mitzvah.
Simon is going to get into our kind of main topic, sort of.
Yeah.
What is Halloween?
The history of All Hallows Eve. From an article from Boston University, Amy Lakowski.
Alrighty. It is.
Now that we're done with that ridiculousness.
Yeah, yes. Basically, Azim and I were curious about kind of how Halloween started, you know, how America has adopted it, and, like, you know, the origins and all that jazz. And there was a person mentioned in this article, Hansen. I probably should find their full name. But that's not going to happen because fuck it. And she says, they said, I'm going to be gender neutral because I don't know. So they say that Halloween comes from... No, we're not. Okay. No Hamilton yet. But back in the day, it came from Celtic paganism in the British Isles.
Literally all of the musicals today,
yes.
Legally Blonde.
So it was basically celebrating the feast of like the New Year, the feast of Samhain. I can't read. But it was like a time they believed that ghosts and spirits came out to haunt, so the Celts would appease the spirits by giving them treats. It also has some elements of Romans celebrating Pomona, the goddess of fruit and trees, because it was like a harvest feast, and today we bob for apples, so it's related to the feast, harvesting and all that jazz.
The feast.
The timing, it says that it happened to be November 1st was the Christian Feast of All Saints. And, like, as the Christians were, like, going around and, like, putting their culture on everybody, then, like, I'm sorry, but it's, the things.
It's the facts.
Yes.
It still is.
Then they had to, like, kind of adopt to cultures. So, like, people had, like, things going on in this time, and it, like, very, it was very happenstance that the Christian Feast of All Saints was November 1st, so then they made the October 31st the Eve of All Saints, which others would call All Hallows Eve.
So they are kind of related.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because, like, obviously if spirits and ghosts and stuff are coming out to haunt, then I feel like the world, the
portals.
The portal. I don't want to say portal. Yeah, like the borderline of like the two.
Crossover.
It's kind of open, so like it would make sense for not only like demons but saints to as well be open to that.
Because it's all spirits in general. Ooh.
Yes, and so the way that it gets Americanized, people found a way to make money off of it.
Capitalism! I don't think there is one episode that we don't talk about capitalism. I think in every single one of our episodes we say capitalism or racism at least twice. America!
It's literally America. Yeah, no, sorry. So there's like, biddies that don't celebrate it because of the pagan origins and all that shit that's associated with witchcraft. Other people embrace Halloween for exactly what it is, blah, 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 blah. And so now it's basically paganism, Christianity, and money.
Money.
So a lot of people think of it as an American holiday, which in some ways is, it is because we've made it big, but like no one really remembers that it's like Celtic and like European. I feel like a lot of people will trace it back to like, witchcraft and like that kind of idea of like, I feel like being from Boston, Massachusetts, like the Salem witch trials and like,
and getting the crucible shoved down your throat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. But obviously, nowadays it's more kids dressing up like the, like the spirits that people would fucking see of like, I guess feel like it's changed nowadays of like, it's not about like, oh, we're going to appease these spirits. It's going to be like, we're going to dress up like them.
To honor them?
Or to like, I don't know. I feel like as a kid, you're kind of
seeing I feel like as a kid, you don't even know. You're just like, I just want to be something that I'm not. It's like your one excuse to be like, let me dress up as this thing because I love this thing. Like, some people dress up as like a Disney princess, or like some people dress up as like a president. You know what I mean? Like, there are like layers to it. It's like, we'll get into that later.
But so that is a lot of the history of the Halloween from the Boston University article.
Cool. Yeah. I dig it.
Diggity dig.
But yeah, like, I think it's normal for that to be associated with kind of like the whole extremist version of what like our parents normally tell us. So if you're not a child of an immigrant, you probably don't experience this. But on Halloween, or days before Halloween, or just growing up around Halloween time, your parent most likely would be like, we're going to church. Because they're like, look at these people in their demon costume. I don't know what that was. But I'm just saying, like, you know, like they think it's like we're literally worshiping the devil on that day and calling for the devil. And it's like that is so far from anybody's thought when you're 3 years old and you dress up as a pumpkin, you know? So that's just the perspective of like living in a household of foreigners is like they see it as like super like gothic emo shit. Yeah. Raise hell, witches, yeah. Okay, take it all back. Sorry, Mom. You know. I mean.
No, but even, like, Mom was always, like, super against us dressing up as, like, vampires.
Yeah,
like,
she would let us dress up, just not, like, as anything evil.
She wanted us to be cute.
Yeah,
like, you know,
and we were cute.
Yeah, but she was like, when you were an elephant. And it's like, I know, I was an elephant when I was 3, and now I'm, like, 15. I want to be a fucking werewolf. And it's just like, but can you not do it? Get clothes. And I'm like, no. Like,
you sound just like a teenager. Well, now I'm 15 and I want to be a fucking werewolf.
I mean, that's exactly how my childhood happened. Or my teenage years, when I was racing
I just want to be Teen Wolf.
Oh my god, calling it!
Oh my god. So many music references today. Lord, the spooky adventure. That is some crazy shit. I love it. But yeah, while we're on the topic of like...
Ooh, titty topics.
This is not going to go where you think it's going.
Oh.
While we're still on the topic of spooky things.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm bringing it back, Simon.
I fucked
So let's
up.
come back to when Simon said the word spook. And didn't know what he was saying. At least he didn't call you guys spooks, did he? I hope
No,
not.
I just said the
So
spooks.
it's actually a hard, heavy term used in the days of extreme racism, which is still today, but but you know what I'm saying. And this, like, I don't know why I think this is important to talk about, just because recently my friend Jonah with Porch Arts, Front Porch Arts thing, they're an organization, they're pretty great. His a play that he wrote had a staged reading over there, and it was called Raza. If that shit ever comes out, y'all should all watch it because that shit's crazy. But in general, like, it's pretty much about a world where lynching is normalized and praised by a cult, which, when I talk about it, sounds realistic because, like, hashtag the KKK. But also, obviously, that was intentional because art imitating life, but also, like, you know,
Yeah.
right? So if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, like, when they kept saying the word spook, I was just sitting there and I'm like, wow, I have not heard that term since maybe watching like a racist 1950s movie. You know what I mean? Which is like so rare, but also like that's like the reality of what our grandparents grew up watching. So I'm like, that's not far away from me at all.
Or watching or just living in.
Ooh.
Like, come on.
I didn't say it.
Art imitates life. We just said it.
Anywho, somewhere in America and in the world, someone's saying this word in a derogatory form. But it made me get back to thinking about, like, why it would be affiliated with black people. And then I was like, oh, you remember when you're, like, a kid and there's obviously, like, that one friend or, like, person in your class that's, like, super dark-skinned, and then the lights go out and they go, oh, where's that person? And it's just, like, shut the fuck up. Just because, like, you're trying to say, like, in cartoons where, like, the lights go off and you only see people's eyes and mouth, and it's just, like, that whole visual. And it's, like, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that, guys. So, like...
so fucking normalized.
You know, and it's like you think back and it's like, dude, that's the bullying of what we grew up in, and we kind of like pretend like we like act like that wasn't fucked up. You know what I mean? I think about all the like fucked up racist things people said to me growing up, and I was like, oh, that wasn't racist. And I'm like, oh wait, yes it was. It actually formed a huge part of like my own identity crisis. So anywho, not you know, every biracial kid's always having an identity crisis. We just don't tell you guys.
We just did.
But now the secret's out. Sorry guys, I just broke the code. It's over. But yeah, so then the cartoon like visual brought me back to thinking about like minstrels, because I've never seen like an actual minstrel show because it's too cringy for me. But like, do you know what a minstrel is?
Nope.
So a minstrel show is when white people would put blackface on and make fun of black people and do like the stereotypical like, you know, I'm your monkey, I'm dancing for you show. You know what I mean? Because, you know, slaves had to do it, but it became a minstrel show when people could put it on television because it used to just be for rich people who owned slaves, you know, and then white people found a way to capitalize on super, super fucked up racist shit. And that's why, like, if you ever go to like any kind of museum that has like minstrel related things, there's always like the huge lips and the big googly eyes and like that circus suit, you know what I mean? So it's super fucking offensive. But, you know, on Halloween, people still do that shit and wear blackface, which we will get into fucking later. But, all in all, just wanted to bring my thoughts in on this word spook as it relates to Halloween. And just be aware of the shit you're saying. If you call someone that, you probably aren't listening to the show. But if you are, and you know someone who says these words.
Because even I fucked up.
Well, I mean, you didn't say it. It's not like but you didn't do it intentionally. You didn't do it like negatively on purpose. Yeah. You were just like, oh, the word spooky season, like spook. But it's like, that's a word. Yeah. Words.
What?
Who says them? But anyways, other general rules for racism. Because I know you're gonna start talking to your black friends about this now.
Us Negroes.
Pretty much. If you have to think about it, it probably is. That's like my mantra for life. It's like, and I stole that from Jersey Shore. So you don't know people's history with racism in their family or their life. So just do not ask your friends to educate you on the topic and educate yourself, because we live in a world where there is Google and people don't need to live through the trauma of their racism.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anyways, back to Halloween, because we're done being serious. Let's talk about our favorite Halloween movies, yeah?
Oh my god, yes!
Okay, so, like, I put Nightmare Before Christmas, but let's be real.
It's time to talk.
Is it a Halloween movie, or is it a Christmas movie?
Y'all gotta comment on, like, our social media about this. Like, serious freaking votes here.
We need to know.
Yeah, like, Halloween or Christmas.
I only watch it on Halloween time, because I'd like to have songs to sing, because Christmas has Christmas songs.
Yep.
Halloween doesn't have any, except for the Monster Mash. That's it.
Yeah.
And Thriller.
So it has a couple.
But this has to be one of them.
This is,
Yeah.
This is Halloween.
This is Halloween.
Halloween.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can't sing that shit at Christmas. In this town. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a Halloween movie for me.
I feel like it's mostly Halloween because, you know, it's such the whole fucking town is centered from Halloween to begin with, and then they're trying Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, it's not from the perspective of Santa Claus at all. Like,
so, ooh, I like that. That's a great argument.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what other people say.
Yeah.
But yeah, from that movie, like, things that like stick out to me is just like the boogeyman. My favorite scene was like with those little kids.
Oh yeah,
dude, those kids are fucking scary, man.
Dude, the actual Nightmare Before Christmas was such a big fucking part of Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh, it was. Yeah. So random.
Yeah, and like Oogie Boogie was always like the last boss, but I just remember
he was always scary as
those
shit.
fucking kids were always raising fucking hell. Like every fucking thing. And it was like there was always like the older games that you're just like, "Oh yeah, I can't figure out this one tiny fucking thing and I kill so many people and I'm so high leveled because I'm just running around." And it's always just like the one kid like left his mask in some fucking corner of the game and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta bring this to the other edge. This is fun.
So random.
But that's what I thought of.
Yeah. I mean, like, Tim Burton. What a guy.
Iconic.
Shout out to him. Corpse Bride. Solid film. That's a good one.
I feel like Tim Burton was very, like, I don't know, like, kind of universal of, like, everyone could watch him, and it's like a kind of like scary, like not like scary, but like a very death-esque, like, you know, Edgar Allan Poe-esque kind of thing.
Art.
Yeah, and like
heavy.
I don't know, like it was
always just real.
Yeah.
But it was also like super not.
But also I feel
and you also always knew that Johnny Depp and his wife were going to be in it.
Yep.
And I mean his wife as in Tim Burton's wife, because for some reason, you can clearly tell he loves seeing Johnny Depp make out with her in every movie. Just saying.
But Yeah, I just loved those fucking movies. And, like, there was always, like, good fucking songs, like in The Corpse Bride and, like, all that shit.
Yeah, man.
The Corpse Bride had music, right?
But he had, yeah, of course it
Yes.
did. I just don't remember any of the songs.
Yeah.
But
I remember I ran out of The Corpse Bride because I was so scared of death at that point of life, but...
the movie was scary. But he has other movies that are not Halloween related. You know that, right? Like Big Fish and other ones. Yeah,
Big Fish. Okay,
that's a good one. Anywho, Halloween Town, fucking solid.
Oh my god.
All the way through.
Even
1, 2, and 3. I don't give a shit.
Like, I feel like the fourth one was just like kind of a sellout.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like,
I don't even think I watched it.
I remember it was like an okay ending, but it was also just like,
if Marnie is not in it,
fact.
I don't want it.
I was just like, where the fuck is Marnie?
Marnie is the OG witch.
Like, it was just for closure and for like money purposes, but like there was fucking Trappa, bitch. Like, you know, it's just like, do you remember when they were like saying like apart and Trappa, and it was
oh my
like
god,
bring
that
people,
fucked me up for 10
that
years.
Literally, because I was just
I still think about it.
Yeah,
Apart,
I was like
Trappa.
Like, oh my
Trappa,
god,
apart.
like that.
Oh my god.
And then like when the first movie, when like the boy was like pissed off, so his magic was showing, and then they were like, "You're a wizard," and he's like, "No!" And it's just like, "Yeah, bitch, fight it.
Man.
It's never gonna work."
He did not glow up.
Oh my god, no.
But you know what? We don't need to. We don't need to do that.
But total iconic part of
yeah.
childhood.
Other movie that fucked us up for real. Don't Look Under the Bed.
Oh my fucking god, Disney! What
Dude,
the hell?
what's wrong,
Why?
man? Why'd you feel like you had to do that to children?
I don't really remember 100% of this movie,
I just
but was this
remember
the one
it
that
being
was like
dark.
You had an imaginary friend and then you forgot about them, so then like they're fucking haunting you?
Oh.
Was that it? Because you got
Maybe.
other friends, and so this imaginary friend was like, "I'm under your bed because you forgot about me, and I'm gonna fucking drag you to whatever the fuck you're like,
So Disney's telling us not to make friends?
not to have imaginary friends,
Disney's
guys.
gonna come for us,
Just
Simon.
straight up go from loneliness to friendship. Don't make anything.
Damn.
Don't compartmentalize. But then there was actual scary fucking movies.
Oh, yeah, like real ones.
Friday the 13th and all the Michael Myers, like Halloween, actual just Halloween movies.
And like Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, that was a big part of
that
like
was
7th and
huge.
8th grade. I remember that
was
crossover.
Perfect preteen shit.
Yeah.
Perfect preteen shit.
Fuck yeah. I remember though, I think the Freddy, what's his last name?
Freddy. Fuck, I don't know.
Oh my god, we suck.
I was gonna say Mercury.
No, I was gonna say it too. Fuck, we gotta look it up.
I love Freddie Mercury.
Oh my god,
Frederick Douglass.
Freddy horror.
Frederick Forrester.
Character.
Freddy
Freddy Krueger.
Wow,
Fucking
we
Christ.
suck. We suck.
Wow.
We suck.
But it's Jason Voorhees. I know that off the top of my fucking head.
Freddie Flintstone.
Yeah, Freddie Flintstone.
Okay, I'm done naming all the Freds that I know. Oh, Fred from Scooby-Doo. Okay, I'm done.
I watched a lot more Freddy Krueger movies though than Jason. Because I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Jason ones were good just because of the ski mask shit.
But Elm Street, like going to high school,
going
to high school on Elm Street, I remember being like,
Street.
I can't take naps in school because Freddy Krueger will fucking
That's
kill
so
me.
real.
Oh my god.
Dude, there was not one day that passed that I did not think that. Anytime we went to school, I was like, this is some
I
shit.
did not take a nap in high school. Like,
Damn.
I don't know if it was
Maybe that's why I don't
subconscious,
take
but...
naps. I don't take naps.
Oh my god.
Wow, we are just non-stop with the references today.
Yes, we are.
But I think there's a difference between watching a scary movie and watching a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the Halloween movies always have a theme to Halloween. Mm-hmm. Scary movies are just fucking scary.
Yeah. They're
and you can watch them
scary.
all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like sometimes the scary movies...
But there are scary Halloween movies.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That they're centered around Halloween sometimes. Like the Michael Myers films.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes those kinds of... I mean, even, like the Michael Myers and, like, Jason fucking movies have, like, music that's, like, psychologically fucking pitched so that, like, it scares the shit out of you. Like, it's like, it's all mental torture instead of fucking, like, just gore and blood and all that shit. Like, you don't even see half the fucking murderers until the last, like, 20 minutes of the movie. Like, that's what's so fucking scary.
Right.
Ugh.
Oof. Halloween.
Let out the trauma.
Count how many times we say spooky and Halloween in this fucking episode. Oh, God. Here we go.
Take a shot.
Anywho, related to Halloween. Costumes.
Costumes.
Okay. Costumes.
Costumes?
Let's get something fucking straight.
Let's get it straight. Straight as an arrow.
Do not dress up as another race if it is not your race. Just don't do it.
So, yes?
Do not dress up
Obvious.
as a Native American.
Uh-huh.
Because that's fucking disrespectful. Do not do blackface. Do not dress up as a transgender person. Because you're literally dressing up as people's identities and claiming their stereotypes to be normalized and made fun of and okay. And, like, just don't fucking do that shit. Again, respect each other, motherfuckers.
I mean, even there's, like... You know, you've seen that picture, or I don't know if you have, but that picture of the people who dressed up as Barack and Michelle Obama.
No.
And they're just white people, but, like, they just dressed up with the exact same fucking
Yeah!
outfit. Like, it's just respectfully
you don't
being
have to
like...
paint
Yeah, or
yourself.
like a wig and, like, something, and just be like, yeah,
Right.
like, this is, you know, this is me. But, like, I don't know, like, a skin tone isn't a costume.
Yeah,
like, that's
man.
that's a life.
Or just, like, wearing a fucking poncho and a mustache. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And being like, I'm Mexican. That's fucked up. Jesus, don't do it. But yeah, like Simon said, like me and my friends, we dress up as the Migos every year. Do we paint ourselves? No. We get mad fucking bling and we pick a music video that we're gonna fucking imitate and we wear the same styled clothing and braid our hair.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just don't get dreads and do that to yourself. Because then that's where it's borderline. But honestly, for me, I just wanted to bring that up because honestly, that didn't become something that I was really aware of or thought of until like college.
Oh yeah, same.
And when I was in college, like there were signs everywhere in the dorms, and I was like, "Word, people need to see that shit." That makes sense because I knew I wasn't doing that shit, and I knew that there were gonna be a bunch of white people there that obviously were fucking doing that shit and didn't know it was culturally insensitive because they did not grow up around people of color.
Yep.
Elitism in private schools and college, anyways. So, you know, anyone who is not aware of that, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. But also because that shit we needed in high school. Because in high school, it was more about policing all the girls, making sure that they didn't look too slutty.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was always like, oh, she came in a slutty like nurse costume, or
Literally,
and, like,
if a girl wore fucking fishnets on Halloween, she'd
Yeah.
get sent home.
And it's
Like,
just
it was
like
insane.
And if the guys came in literally dressed up as a girl, like cheerleaders, it was fucking celebrated.
Dude, there was a guy
You know
who
what I
came in
mean?
as like a big hefty like nerd or like yeah like a big hefty woman
Yeah.
with like a chihuahua up her butt. And
Oh, that
like,
was Gilly.
Yeah, but it's just like if a guy can fucking do that.
Yeah,
like, you know,
I mean,
like
yeah.
that's a chihuahua up the ass.
It's funny though.
I know,
like,
but it's like
but again,
if that
it's
goes
just
past
like,
the line of like.
But I'm also saying, like, if you dress up as a girl and I can see your balls, what the fuck? That's gross. How
I
come
didn't-
you're okay?
I
Like,
didn't
you're.
see that.
No, I'm just saying.
Did you?
Yes, I did. It was so gross, man. And I was just like, how come guys can do that shit, but me and my friends can't dress up as the Blue Man Group because you won't be able to identify us? We literally, for senior dress-up day, me, Kellen, and Blanca, we're so ready to get these bald caps and just paint ourselves blue and, like, you know, be the Blue Man Group because we had class together and everything. It was going to be great. We're so excited. Spanish. It was awesome. And then I told Dr. Wallace about it, and he was just like, he's like, you can't do that. Then we can't identify you. I'm like, it's Halloween.
Yep.
You can't identify anyone. Everyone's wearing a costume. What do you mean? You will clearly know it's me because it's fucking me. Who else is going to look like me as the Blue Man?
Especially if you tell him you're gonna be a fucking
I literally
Blue Man.
just told you. Who else? You think I'm going to get the whole senior class to dress up like the fucking Blue Man Group? That would be hilarious. But no. So...
Want to talk about some fun fucking
Yes.
Halloween costumes?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I remember the first ones that you and I had were when we were an elephant and a dragon.
That's my first memory.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my first Halloween memory.
Yeah.
Because
And we were that was
just-
iconic. We just
were
went around.
So fucking cute.
We were so
Like,
cute. We'll find the picture maybe.
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 What were you saying? We went around.
We went around the apartment building because we didn't like go to Easton that year to go trick or treating, and like then we went to Connie's across the street. She's our neighbor. Well, former neighbor.
Yeah.
She didn't die. She's still alive.
No, but she just saw us grow up. I
I
was
know,
just
it's
thinking
crazy.
of like.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
Connie's definitely not listening to this.
No, Connie's
But
just an amazing Italian old woman.
she's just
Love
living.
her.
She's living her life, growing her grapes,
Yep.
being hardcore Italian.
Hell yeah.
But I remember like trick-or-treating around the apartment that day. And then that was like it for us, like trick-or-treating in Everett. And I was just like, this is so funny. Like, we know the difference between like trick-or-treating in the city versus trick-or-treating in the suburbs.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god. I remember even the places in the suburbs where Dad would like take us and be like, okay, cool, so this is where we're gonna get like full fucking bars. And be like, oh yeah, here we go, this is where the money's at. Like,
oh my god, yeah. Like when I remember like seeing episodes of Bob's Burgers where they went to the rich neighborhood or whatever.
uh-huh.
And, like, I was thinking about that, and I was like, we didn't really experience that. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah,
because
we
we were trick-or-treating in the rich neighborhood.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the fucking
And, like, I remember the first time we brought, like, other people trick-or-treating with us. Like, for me, this one is, like, when I brought Kellen. And that was the funniest shit ever. Because I was like, oh, my God, this bitch has, like, never really gone trick-or-treating. Like, for real. Because she's never been in the burbs with me.
Uh-huh.
And we were in, like, fucking high school. I'm pretty sure that was the last year we ever went trick-or-treating.
Dude,
we are way too old.
I went trick-or-treating up through senior year of high school. I didn't
Yeah,
give a
it was
fuck.
up till senior year. And then
also
after senior year, I stopped.
Yeah, Dad and I also brought Abi senior year.
Oh, yeah, so you
that,
get away
like,
with it.
Because he was, like, 8th grader, so it was,
Yeah.
like, very borderline of all of us, but, like...
Dude, we had candy
Can't
for
say no.
months.
We would have so much fucking
We had
candy.
pillowcases of candy.
We would have to empty out a whole ass bag
I
to
know.
get another fucking bag.
We were like the
and then
winners
we would
of
have,
finessing Halloween.
We would have the bag that we hide from Mom and Dad's car, and then the bag that we bring inside. Mom, I hope you're listening, because this is what happened
forgot
every
about
year.
that!
We would bring the bag inside, and she'd steal all of our chocolate.
She would take all the
Because
chocolate.
she loves the chocolate, and we were like, don't you think
But
we
when
love it
we
too?
were kids, I never thought about it. I was like, this bitch is taking all of our chocolate and all of our candy because we're fat.
Yeah.
And then I was like, now as an adult, I'm like, she just wanted to eat all of our candy because she didn't go trick-or-treating. And I'm like, she's a
And
genius.
Dad definitely fucking told her that we had another bag in the car.
He absolutely did, because
Yeah.
he's like, why is there hidden candy in my truck? Because he's probably trying to eat it too.
Yep.
But he didn't because he's loyal.
Sometimes.
We see you. Yeah, but he'd tell us when he ate from it. He'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I ate some of your candy. I was like, you know what? I respect you for that. Because
Yeah.
at least you're not like Mom and you're lying about it. But it's okay. She probably forgot that she did
No,
that.
honestly, Mom sometimes I would see her giving it away to people, and I'd
Me
be
too,
like,
me too.
Are you kidding me? Like, did they work for this? And she'd be like, be Christian. And I'm like, okay, fine, I see how it is. Like, it's like on this devil's fucking day that you
I know, I'm
call.
like, isn't this
It's like,
cursed?
Yeah, it's like, don't you not want this fucking
You literally,
candy?
like, yeah. That wasn't just at you, Mom. That was
No,
at
we
all of the
love
foreign
you, but,
mothers
like,
that we know.
facts.
Oh my god. Yeah, but my favorite, I have some personal favorites. These are really true exposures of my identity growing up. Just like seeing who I chose to be for Halloween. And I'm just like, wow, who the fuck was I? So obviously as a little kid, everybody who's like a little light-skinned princess has to do fucking Jasmine, because that was the only options we had growing up, and we weren't going to be Pocahontas.
Yep.
Because that was just mad work. So I was Jasmine. Glad I did that. That was cute. Then I did it again in college, but you know, that's different. I did it again in college lying when I was really Marjorie Terrell, but I went to a party and I was like, are you Jasmine? I was like, duh, but I wasn't.
I feel like you always have the worst luck with Halloween wigs. Like,
Oh my god, let's not talk about it. No, my Migos costume had a great wig.
yeah, but like, doesn't
But before
everything
that,
always
it
show
was
up late? Like,
No, not that one. That one came on time. The only late wig was the Marjorie Terrell one, but I don't even need it because my hair's luscious anyways.
I also looked great in that wig.
Oh yeah, I wish I could find that wig.
I was
It was a good one.
Alejandro in that wig.
I don't know what I did with it. It was a really good one. Speaking of wigs, we'll get into that. Then I was Snow White, and there's that iconic picture of me, you, and Abby.
Yeah,
and you were like a gray Power Ranger.
I was the gray Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And Abby was just crying. And
He's so miserable.
Oh, God, and Mom was trying to make
but
everything
he's
so
so
great.
cute as a crying baby.
Oh my God, yeah. That was a great fucking Halloween. I remember that was one of the ones that that was the parade year. Do you remember when we were like walking around in that park?
When we were kindergartners.
Yeah.
Good times. Oh, little babies. It was Glendale Park, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah. Now that I like can actually use my brain, I'm like, oh, somebody thought it was a great idea to bring all these cute ass little preschoolers and kindergartners to Glendale Park to be dressed up. How fucking adorable.
It was Glendale Park before Everett High School existed.
Yeah, before
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, we're old Simon.
Dude! Oh my God! Oh, I thought it was Lil Flo.
Nope.
Holy
We're old.
shit!
We are old.
Okay, I'm having like world. You need to know. I'm having a fucking groundbreaking revelation right now. Like,
man.
I never imagined what Everett High School, what the fucking land used to look like because it was just a green fucking hill.
Yeah.
But now that I actually know where the fuck this place was, I'm losing it.
And it's also like you went to high school there.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
for 4 fucking years.
Crazy.
And I was there for like at least 2 years with band, like before high school.
I just remember it being built. Anyways,
And Homestead of.
everything's.
Everything.
But then fast forward to when I'm like a teenager, and I remember when I dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite costumes. Just because of the Vote for Pedro shirt, but also because like I am him, sort of. And then my other favorite one. Sorry, I stopped and thought quizzically, and then made a Napoleon Diamond face. And then my other super personal favorite is when I was Barack Obama, and I just had like a suit, and I had like an Obama like what are those things called? Bobby pin?
Mm-hmm. No, just the campaign pin.
Yeah, campaign pin. Yeah, and then I had his mask because I didn't do blackface, but I'm also black, so.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, that might still be a thing. But anyways, I had his mask,
Black
and
on blackface.
thank God that we are in Massachusetts, but we were also in a Democrat mostly friendly neighborhood, because I did not think about that, like trick or treating and somebody being like, "I'm voting for McCain."
Do you remember when the person literally told you that he wasn't going to give you candy because you were Obama?
I thought he was kidding. I remember getting candy.
Okay, Asif, I walked away when that happened because I was actually like...
You did?
Yeah, I thought he was like being a dick.
No, he was kidding, Simon.
He was kidding?
He gave me candy.
Okay, see, I didn't see the end
Because I was
of
just
that
like, oh.
because I had gotten candy.
Because Dad was laughing and he was laughing, and I was like, are
Okay,
they not laughing?
I also had like a mask on, so like I didn't know what the fuck was
You
going
really
on.
walked away.
But I seriously thought that guy was like
You're
a
really a
racist
real
asshole.
ass nigga.
And I was like, do you not see the Negro on my face right now?
dead.
Like I was just like, well, no, I was wearing a mask, so yeah.
God, I'm dead.
Wow.
No, yeah, he was kidding. He was like, but he did. That was the first time I thought about it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm dressed up as Barack Obama. These niggas aren't gonna give me candy. I was like, racism is real. Up until that point.
I remember we were looking for the masks too, and there was like so many white Obamas, and we were like,
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
And then there was like one with his mole. I was like, that's the one.
yes.
I was like, that's me.
Oh, that's how you know.
But
it's real.
then to dress up as him and then for him to win, that's kind of cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then to be able to vote for him the second time. Hello.
Good for
Oh,
you.
the glory days. Anyways, that's my faves. What are your faves, bro?
I remember, well, not my fave, but I remember one that was pretty iconic for me was when I was I was a vampire, right? Or was it you?
Yeah, no, you were a vampire.
Yeah, and we were trying, because I saw Taylor was a vampire one
Oh,
year.
yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. And then, like, I saw how she had, like, white makeup on to make her, like, her face whiter. And that's when I realized skin tone and makeup. And
Wow,
I couldn't...
Simon,
Yeah.
Halloween is making us realize so much.
Yep, and
You
like...
guys, you're doing this with us.
Yes. And so, like, I tried putting, like, the white makeup that came with, like, the vampire costume, but it was
Yeah.
made for white people. So, like, it didn't fucking mix into my face at all.
And then Rihanna made Fenty.
Yes. No, but just, like, a little 11-year-old fucking me just being, like, trying to apply white foundation. And I was like, yeah, this isn't
Wow.
working. I'm gonna be the, like, the healthiest vampire on fucking earth.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, so I remember the Scream mask.
Oh,
That was iconic. We had
the
that one
Scream mask and the
forever.
werewolf like lived
Yeah,
because
forever.
Dad got like another werewolf mask just to so he had
Even it out.
options.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was a good
we had
one,
like
too.
the cape that came with the Scream thing, and then
Yeah.
I was usually some version of Death. Like,
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
fulfilled your life's purpose.
Yep, and senior year in percussion ensemble, I got to be Death.
Oh, we got to put the link to the YouTube for that show.
We got to.
Okay, well, there's a
See
lot
the
of
certain
there's a
wealthy
lot of
prince.
references for y'all today.
Yeah, Mask of the Red Death. So it's Halloweeny. It's Edgar Allan Poe.
bet.
Yep, see me thriving, even though they only zoom in on me like once, but it's fine.
Okay, let it go.
What
What about any more? Or is that it?
Monsieur Rogers. Mr. Rogers, when we
Yo, when that movie comes out, woo!
Tom
I cried
Hanks.
during the trailer
yeah.
because I love him. When he died, that fucked me up so much.
Plus Tom Hanks, he's so
And
fucking
Tom
wholesome.
Hanks.
Like,
But literally, when he died, I was in Mom's room in apartment 6. I remember this vividly. I was probably like 8, and Mom was like, "Do you want to stay home from school today?" And I was like, what happened, Mom? It was like February. And she's like, Mr. Rogers died. And we both just started crying. Like, crying so much. I was like, he was such a great guy. I'm so sad. And then Mom's always, like, singing the song. And, like, I was like, ah! And we're just, like, crying. And she's like, you want to make bulla? I was like, yeah! And we just, like, ate bulla in the bed and just cried all day. It was great.
Oh, my God,
Aww.
yeah. But, yeah, so I was Mr. Rogers in memoriam. It was quite a great costume. I literally just bought, like,
oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, but like I was, you know, I don't really plan my costumes too far in advance. Like, I usually just kind of get to October and I'm like, holy fucking shit, I need a costume.
Yeah, you do. Every year.
Every year.
Oh, remember when we were, the Aristocats?
Yeah.
We were so good at
that. That was a very good put together
so good at
costume.
Halloween.
But I remember that was the first year I started wearing cardigans. And so I had, like, a red cardigan that everyone always said looked like Mr. Rogers. So I just wore a pair of khakis. I had my Mr. Rogers shirt that said "It's all good in the hood," and I wore.
You were such a good black Mr. Rogers. I know. You killed it.
Oh yeah.
Just fist pounded.
And then I spray painted my hair, or like did that hairspray that you get from Spencer's to make it gray. Mm-hmm. And then I went trick or treating with Dad and Abby, and we got some fucking looks. But I was just like, fuck it. Still give you candy.
So, what are you going to be for Halloween this year?
I don't know.
Here we go. Here we go.
I mean, I don't even know if I celebrated Halloween last year. I worked it.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. So I didn't dress up as anything. I dressed up as an actor. Wow. So I technically wasn't.
But you were in Salem on Halloween, so that's pretty spooky.
That was pretty lit. There was a lot
cool.
of fucking idiots there, so that was cool.
Yeah. Did you get to like go out and drink after or no?
I just went home. I was very fucking tired.
Yeah. When Halloween is on a weekday, that's when I'm like, eh. But then I learned about Halloween weekend in college, and I was like, oh. But then I was like, my birthday though. Halloween who?
My first Halloween weekend was fucking horrible.
I don't remember. I remember mine. It was pretty great. It was in Boston. I was downtown with my friends at Suffolk. Good times.
Do you want to hear my story?
What happened?
It was fucking horrible. So we go to... So this story includes Sean, my horrible roommate. Henry was gone. He decided to go somewhere else for the Halloween weekend, and he was very smart. Very smart. I wish I did. I did the next day because this happened. So... I got Bacardi 151 for that weekend.
Hey, back when it was legal and still distributed in the United States because it's literally gasoline and will light your fucking soul on fire.
Yep. So I'm like, I'm drinking it. I'm sharing it with a bunch of biddies. I get all the way, like the bottle gets about halfway down. I'm not only drinking it alone though. Like I literally was filling up other people's bottles because it was so fucking strong. And then I'm chilling on someone's bed. Mind you, I've been like blackout and almost dying drunk before, so like I knew my fucking limits. And I'm sitting on this person's bed, and they're just like, Simon, you should go to bed. And I was like, you damn right I should. And then I like wander up to my fucking bedroom, pass the fuck out. And then next thing I know, or I don't even fucking know, some fucking kid is being taken away in an ambulance because he drank like a whole bottle of Bacardi 151 by himself. So everyone freaks the fuck out and goes, oh my god, Simon was drinking the exact same thing.
Oh my god.
We have to go save his life.
This.
So they all bust into my room. Sean's there. He's like borderline blackout drunk as well. And they're all like freaking the fuck out. The people who are like nursing majors are like...
Are you okay? Like,
I'm totally fine.
Were you throwing up?
No.
Then what the fuck?
I was asleep. They
At least
woke
they
me
care
up.
about you.
I know, but it was so much. They were literally like checking my pulse and stuff. And then like Sean was leading them to do stuff. And then like...
Well, he's also drunk.
Yeah, so like my friend David, who was sober, was like, it was literally the blind leading the blind. But I just wanted to watch it happen because it was fucking hilarious. And I was like, David, you dick, you could have let me go to sleep.
I love it.
Oh my god. But then basically the story ends with they all eventually leave my room. My fucking RA knew what was happening the whole time. And he was like, quote unquote, worried about me. But when I told him the next day, I was like, I was literally fine. They were all freaking the fuck out. He was like, I thought that was an option. I was like, I fucking knew it. But fucking Sean sat next to my bed, watched me sleep all night, and told me in the morning that he put his finger in my mouth to see if I was still breathing.
Ew.
While I was asleep.
He definitely did not wash his hands.
That was like that. At that moment, I bought a fucking ticket home and I went to Boston because I was just like, nope, we're not doing this. UNH, what the fuck? So
he's so gross.
Yep. So watch out, guys, on Halloween weekend because
people do weird
Christ.
shit when you're fucked up.
Yeah. Also, just like
don't invade people's space.
Don't touch people
Yo, like,
who are
what?
asleep.
What is common sense?
Consent.
God, consent.
God.
Capital C.
I don't want tea.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know. As I get older, I mean, we go out or whatever. Like now that I'm like, you know, above 21, like you can go out in Boston and go to like costume parties at the club.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm way past that now.
Yeah.
So I'm just a grandma now. But last year we just had a photo shoot and it was mad fun. You know, we were just like, you know, like getting intoxicated at home and having a photo shoot dressed up. It was mad fun.
I mean, you guys ended up being fucking featured.
And then we got featured on Offset's Instagram.
Yeah.
Go look it up. And go follow the Migas page.
Facts.
Yeah, but this year, I am very excited.
Oh, yeah?
Because I am a former Game of Thrones fan. And yes, I say former because we all know. And the Night King was my king. And I wanted him to win. So I'm going to honor him and be him. And my friends are going to be the White Walkers. And I cannot wait to bust out this flash mob. You have no idea. So, it's lit.
You guys gonna do a dance?
I just said flash mob, so yeah. Yeah, watch out, people. We're coming.
So, I feel like a good little part to get into now is haunted houses. Yeah, considering I worked at one. But Azeb, what would you say is like your, I don't know, like your favorite haunted house experience or one that sticks out to you?
Okay, honestly, I used to be super against them because, like I mentioned earlier, I am a little bitch. And I am, like, literally, I'm such a scaredy cat. Like, I'm the worst. Ask my roommates. So, like, honestly, I went to Canopy Lake for Scream Fest once during college, and like I was like, okay, I'm good. I'll never do this again. And then I came back and I did all of the scary shit last year with Camilla and David, and Kellen. I'm pretty sure, yes. And like we went to the Canopy Lake one, and we did like all the other things that I didn't do, and that shit was scary. But Scream Fest, whoa, Scream Fest is a whole nother level, bro. Whole nother level. That shit is fucking terrifying. Just go there and find out. It's somewhere in East Bumfuck, Massachusetts. But like, yeah, that shit scary.
Damn.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh my god, I gotta sneeze.
Let's.
Oh, I'm so gross.
You know why we say bless you?
Because your heart stops for a second?
Yeah.
So your soul might leave the body.
Oh my god. It's like you watched that episode of The Simpsons.
Oh.
That's how I know.
Really?
I think.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
Homie. But I was gonna say, other than my haunted house, or the haunted house that I worked at, the Lost Museum, because I didn't really get to experience that. Like, I always had to act it.
Yeah.
And even if I fucking experienced it, you know, I know literally every single trigger. But the one that really sticks out to me is Haunted Overload in New Hampshire, because a lot of my friends at UNH actually were involved in it my sophomore year, or like a couple of them, because it was like acting gigs, but like, you know, I don't think they really got paid, but it was like, it was a really well put together haunted house. It was fucking huge. Yeah. Like, the line had people running through it with like chainsaws.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
It was fucking horrifying.
I was like, thank God I didn't go to that, because, you know, I'm a baby.
Yeah, and like, mind you, these people have chainsaws that are running without the chain, but they are sprinting through the fucking line.
Bro.
And if you don't move out of the way, like, I honestly feel like you could still get pretty fucking cut up.
Yeah,
so
man.
Like, they were actually going for blood. And then there was, you know, you go through the whole thing, there's a bunch of scary shit, a bunch of really cool illusions, with like the smoke and the lasers, and like I even saw that at the the Lost Museum, but like this one, you know, there's so much more space for them to fill it up with smoke and lasers and all that shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
So like you see all this crazy shit,
oh,
and then
there's
at the end,
people just in the shadows trying to scare you.
So at the end there was clowns.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you know how everyone's always fucking scared of clowns.
Oh, honestly, they're
so
not that bad. But
there was this one girl that had a serious fear of clowns.
Oh, no.
And, like, she let it show a little bit. And once
No,
you
no,
showed
no,
these
no,
people you're
no, no,
scared,
no.
they play off of it because
No,
they're all
they're
actors and they
evil.
know how to do it. And it's just like,
Well, yeah.
I saw it and I was like, I'm not even going to fucking look at them because as soon as I do, I'm fucked. And then, like, she starts running and then they, like, chase her and she, like, like curls up into a ball and they're, like, just, like, jumping
Oh my
around her and stuff. And I was
God,
like,
they're evil.
but it's what you paid for. These people are supposed to scare the fucking shit out of you.
Cry.
Like, oh, she was crying. So, like,
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's so evil.
Haunted overload.
My heart.
Yep. Don't go
Yeah.
somewhere if you don't want the shit scared out of you.
I am not a Halloween girl.
Yeah.
No. I like spooky season though.
Spooky.
Yeah, you know why? Because there's the other side to this whole, like, time period that we gonna get into.
Ooh.
But before I do that, I want to talk about the spooky season calendar. So pretty much, just to let y'all know, there's also a thing called Day of the Dead that Mexicans celebrate.
What is it? Diez de
las Muertos.
That's it.
I'm pretty sure I said it wrong, but you never know. But this year it is, or maybe every year, it is October 31st through November 2nd, and it's a day that like people go to like the cemetery and like kind of like dress up the tombs, right? And just kind of like spend time honoring the person who passed, and like they're supposed to come from the other like spiritual dimension and visit them on that day, which is kind of cool. I like it, you know, you just kind of eat around and whatever. I don't know if I've said this before, but I want to be a tree when I die.
Yeah.
So like all y'all can come through and have a picnic.
Why do you
Around
think I'll
my
be
tree.
there? Why do you think I'll be there?
You
When you're a
think we're
whole-ass
dying?
tree-
You think we're dying together?
Okay, but think about it. If you're gonna grow,
You think you're gonna die before me?
Okay, stop. Yes, but like if you're gonna grow into a whole ass tree, right?
Yeah.
I
could be a baby tree. And you can sit around my baby tree.
Oh my god. How fast do you think trees grow, Asad? How many years do you think I'm going to have without you?
Ethiopia just planted 1 billion trees, okay? We need to repopulate the earth.
Gosh.
We need the air. It's called oxygen. We need it. Oh, good.
So much.
Anyways. Okay, shut up.
Okay, shut up.
Shoot your face. Alright, I'm done. Sorry. So that's Day of the Dead. I don't know how that got there. But yeah, so like there are some things that I want to mention of like what October generally looks like is you know, you can go to Salem, Massachusetts, and do all the witch trials stuff. And like all the like hocus pocus stuff, which is pretty cool, or go see a psychic and, you know, just have a whole day. I did that once for the first time when I was like a grown adult. No, just like going to Salem and just doing Salem things. Yeah. And I was like, what? I've never been here. Like, why do I not do this? Like, anytime I used to go, it was like over the summer and it was just like turn up with Webb. But like, otherwise, I'm just kind of like, why would I be there? Because I didn't go to like Salem State like most folks, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I went there a lot to visit like Brett.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I could always stay with him and then it was always like really fun and easy to get to the actual town of Salem.
It's also just like funny, like when you're from Massachusetts, there are so many things you don't do that tourists do. Yep. And then you're like, oh, that's why I don't do it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But you can also go apple picking and like go see some beautiful ass foliage. Go through a corn maze. Go to a pumpkin patch.
Get apple cider donuts.
Get your apple cider too.
Uh-huh.
And then make some delicious apple pie.
Oh, yes.
I used to hate apple pie, no lie. Shout out to Johnny Appleseed though.
Honestly, yeah, it was like I always preferred pumpkin pie because it was just like more solid and like easier to eat. Like it stayed together more, and I was a fucking mess as a child. But then apple pie really fucking grew on me because I got so sick of how much pumpkin pie Dad would buy, because every time Costco had pumpkin pie,
he would buy it and eat it like
pie
every day.
Like, every snack, pumpkin pie.
I guarantee you, he's gonna do it again.
It's gonna happen, Azeb. It's gonna happen.
And then it was sweet potato pie. When it's November, he switches over.
I remember when I brought a sweet potato pie in for a class presentation about Idaho.
Oh yeah.
And that was the only reason why I got a B. Because I did not have any fucking work done. I was just like, I'm dressed as a farmer with sweet potato pie. And they were like, what?
Yeah, and then you can also have like a fall themed party. I have a thing at my house called Fall Fest. We do once a year. Where we like do all the shit we did not do growing up as kids because we didn't have money and we weren't middle class. So
Yeah.
we bob for apples and we like carve pumpkins. And you know, like drink Oktoberfest tasting beers or whatever and just get like smashed, but it's like word. You know. Yeah.
The basic stuff.
There's also a weekend, a 3-day weekend called Fuck Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. And I just think it's funny how like pretty much anytime that day comes around, I always see a picture of a Native American sticking up the middle finger, and it's like my favorite image that I associate with that day. And I just love that we turn these American holidays into like, oh, fuck that day. You know what I mean? Like, fuck the 4th. Like as we mentioned in episode 3. Episode 3. Episode 3, America. Go back.
America.
Let's also give some birthday shout-outs because we are those guys. So, October 4th is Ebenezer Fesaha's birthday. He's going to be 20 years old. If you know who he is, slide in his DMs and say, happy birthday, Malcolm Liddett. So that's our baby cousin. We love him.
Basically our brother.
Yes. In the second half of October is Drake's birthday. So we're just going to recognize that he is an October Scorpio, so don't get it twisted that he's affiliated with November Scorpios at all. Totally different breeds. But it's also David Dacker's birthday because he shares the same day with Drake. Or Drake shares the same day with him.
Oh.
So shout out to him, day 1, A1. Those are all the Octobers.
All the Octobers.
All the Octobers. You got any Octobers?
I just got to say it again. October's my favorite color, guys.
Oh.
Shit. Always.
I like
fucking
that.
Orange, all that shit. Oh, Stefania.
Wow, you're trash.
Yeah,
that's like your fucking best friend.
Okay. And she is October 10th, so 10/10. Love you. Sorry, I forgot, but fucking October, man.
Gang,
beautiful
gang.
colors. And
Alrighty, so like that's the end of our shout outs for now. Sorry if we didn't mention you, but love you.
I'm not sorry.
And if you're not listening to this show and we didn't mention you, then that's why we didn't mention you.
Damn.
Middle fingers up. I ain't thinking about you. I ain't sorry. Okay, anyways. Key takeaways. Don't say racist shit.
Yep.
Don't dress up as racist people.
Yep.
Just don't do it.
Don't racism.
That's number 1. No racism.
No racism.
Watch yourself.
Number
Show
2.
me what you're working with.
You're never too old to trick or treat.
Yes, you are.
No, you're fucking not.
If you have kids, then yes,
Yep.
you're good.
That's the golden rule.
But if you don't, just go get drunk somewhere.
And then trick or treat.
Or just like buy a bag of candy.
And then trick or treat.
Or you can be the host of a trick or treater.
And trick or treat.
Yeah.
Never too old.
And then last but not least, there's a lot of things to do during this time. Sorry, we did not try to get the perspectives of people who are not from New England, but maybe next time.
Maybe.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah?
That's how I feel.
That's exactly how I feel. Alright, so let's move on. Azeb, how you feel about these announcements? Would you like to get it started?
Yeah, so I have an announcement. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh
ding.
my gosh.
Sorry that we are so annoying. That's announcement number 1. Number 2.
Bam.
I am a quarter of a century years old on November 4th, 2019. If you don't know what that means, it means I am 5 years away from 30.
From death.
I'm so dramatic. Okay. But yeah, so Simon and I are hosting a fundraiser for the podcast.
Yeah.
That will be at Chevu Skating Rink,
Chevu?
11 Road Street in Dorchester. We'll have a flyer coming soon, but just want to let you know it will be November 1st, Friday, from 7 to 10 p.m. And we are, it'll be like $20 to get in. So please come through, celebrate my birthday, celebrate the podcast, and like roller skate. 70s attire is highly encouraged because we're trying to do this roll and bounce theme. And since it's Halloween weekend, if you want to dress up, we don't want to prevent you from feeling weird. So yeah. So yeah, come through. That's all I got. You got anything?
I would just like to announce potatoes. That is it.
That's it?
That's it.
Favorite
Potatoes.
fruit? Starch.
It's a fruit in my heart.
Vegetable.
Because it's still clogging my arteries. What are we up to?
Let's do the sign up.
Oh my god. Who's gonna do it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, I got rock and he got scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, he got paper, I got scissors.
This is
What?
2 out of 3, isn't it?
Did I just lose? Did
you
you?
beat me.
I beat you twice?
Yeah.
Well.
So you choose.
Woo! You do it.
Fuck. Okay. So guys, as always, we are grateful for our listeners. If you are new, please follow us on Instagram at The Freitae Effect, on Twitter at TFE Pod, and like us on Facebook. If you like what you hear, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Follow us on SoundCloud and leave a comment or a repost. And always feel free to share the show with a friend. Other places you can find us include Google Play, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. If you have questions you would like us to answer on the show, feedback, affirmations, anything like that, please email us at thefreitaeeffect@gmail.com. If you really like what you hear, please find us on Patreon and become a patron. Or make a donation to your heart's desire, because anything else, this is not fucking free.
It's really not.
So thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week.